And welcome to Fast Markets here on TopstepTV. There's Anne Marie. Anne Marie, good morning. How are you?
I am well. I'm even better now that I'm here with everybody.
we got Dolby Time in the corner, John in the upper corner as well. John, so much for inflation. I guess inflation here today, or here yesterday, gone today. What do we make of this, man? What do we PPI? What are we doing? I mean, we're back up above 5,200 in the S&Ps. I don't know what to make of it. I heard you in an opening call. You got to be patient and wait this sucker out.
Well, if you remember, KB was talking yesterday, and what he was saying made perfect sense. PPI is future consumer inflation, and if PPI is lower, does that indicate slowing consumer inflation in the future? To me, that's what the market is saying right now. I still think we're pretty far from any rate cuts.
Yeah.
But if things turn, you never know. They're watching the data, and we'll see what happens. We've already got a 5.25 point opening range here in the S&Ps. We've already got let me see here. I've got to up these charts. Hang on, I got to reload. Got a 21 point opening range in the NASDAQ, 7 point opening range in the S&Ps. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take it with a 2-lot, and we'll see what happens. It's very exciting. It's the first trade in the morning, the opening range trade.
Yes, it is. John's trade. Anne Marie, what are we looking at today?
You know what? I'm
confused.
Actually, well, you know what? The market is confusing. And if we just take a look at these daily charts, we can see that I don't know that the traders are feeling anything directional whatsoever. So what I did was I just initiated a short, small one, and it is up near a key line of congestion, 18,280. It's already up about $200 on one contract, and so a couple of reasons why it was an ideal trade for me at this juncture. One, it's into the resistant zones that I've seen over days and days. And two, I'm just going to take the profit off at maybe 300, 350 here.
I like that.
We're done.
Nice.
And the reason that I'm very quick on the in and out is, one, I can't tell what this market is doing. And two, I'm in the middle of talking and I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. It is seriously. I listen to how good you are of a skier, Andre, and I think to myself, wow, I wish I could do better with just my shoes. And so, listen, there are so many hilarious airport stories of my family just walking and me tripping and sitting in a pile with my luggage, and they're like, "Where'd you go?"
Oh no!
So strangers helping me out. True. Oh no! Absolutely true. But in any case, I took it. We don't have the VWAP bands yet on Topstep X, so I used the Keltner channel, and the Keltner channel showed us moving higher highs away from the band, and I was watching one of the young bucks. Which one was it? Austin.
Yep.
And he said, "Hey, I'm liking the RSI." And so my thought always is, how can I sort of build a trading strategy based on what anybody's talking about, right? Literally, you can. If you just understand how technicals move, you can build on anything. And so I said, I'm going to pop up the stochastic RSI there. And you'll notice it's gotten very toppy on the 15-minute right here where my cursor is sitting. And you can see, hey, when it sits at that 15-minute, it's telling us two things. One, it's super bullish. So if you're taking a short, you got to be quick, which is why I got out right away. And two, if you're in a long, you better take some profit because the rubber band is just getting very, very pulled to the outside. And so you can see it bouncing. I took the short. I got out very quickly, and you can see it's doing exactly what the technical indicator told us it was going to do. And so I love that. I thought I'd incorporate it this week as we were doing fast markets, and we can just go with the flow. And what I want to tell folks is, hey, listen, you can look at any technical indicators that you want to and develop a strategy that feels good to you and performs just so long as you understand what the technicals are telling you.
That's why you take profits. Well done.
That's exactly right.
Snap right back.
Well, I took two shorts. It took two shorts for the opening range trade. I got out of one at break even because it just came back to where it came. I'm sitting here listening to Anne Marie, and I'm thinking, man, I probably should just get out of both of these.
I mean, that was a nice cover for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Dolby time. Welcome to Fast Markets this morning. What are we looking at trading right now? You've been trading a little bit of NASDAQ. You've been trading some crude. You've been trading some YM. What do you got your sights on right now?
A little bit of everything. Looking at YM and crude today. I haven't had any trades yet. I did place one practice trade in copper. Don't know if you know this, chat, but some new products hit the product board. So we got copper now, pretty exciting, as well as Natty Gas, aka the Widowmaker, also E-mini natural gas, and I think micro silver are the three new products that I see on the board right now.
Okay, that's great because silver is expensive to trade.
It is, yeah. So it's starting to get flushed out a little bit. So we're waiting for some currencies and financials, I think, but we're starting to round out the metals and the commodities. So very cool to see. So some more products for us to play with.
Indeed.
Natural gases, QGK24. Good luck remembering that one.
Is there an opening range indicator on Topstep X?
Opening what?
Opening range.
Like an indicator?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. It's not built in with TradingView yet. But it looks like indices are headed, at least YM's headed lower.
Yep.
Crude is headed lower. I'm glad I didn't take any longs in crude. I was looking at 85.59 for a long. I passed on that one. Definitely missed the 4-hour range high short in YM. That would have been a doozy of a trade.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll wait.
Super nice.
Yeah, we'll wait for that to come back down.
S&P selling off, like you said. NASDAQ selling off. John, are you still short one or are you short? Or did you cover it all together?
I'm still short one.
Nice.
And I'm watching for value acceptance from yesterday. So if we can hold below value high from yesterday, 52.10 quarter, then we could see the market kind of roll into yesterday's range again. I scratched. I lost on one of them, and now I'm still in the other one.
Is this back-to-back days?
What's that?
Back-to-back days? Oh, sorry. Is this back-to-back days, Hogue, that the range trade has paid off for you?
Yesterday it did not.
It did not pay off. Oh, I think you were down like $1,000 or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Just got to keep on slapping those orders in there, Hogue. It's going to pay off.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I took two today is because of the size of the opening range. Yesterday's opening range was 5 points. Today it was 7 points, so I traded I took a little bit smaller position sizing because of that, and I didn't want it to come back to the opening range, so I covered one of them, and we're assuming the risk on the other one. I think my risk is about $300 on this one, but if we can get that value acceptance, then there's good. A good probability that we could see price get to the other end of value from yesterday, which would be all the way down at 51.94 94 quarter. So that would be, let's see here. I'll just put it at 95. Be a $900 win if we can get it.
Let's get it.
I'm probably gonna feel like taking this off if it does get to VWAP.
We're heading that way.
I just saw a bunch of orders just come right in there. What was that all about?
And what product and what market, Anne Marie?
The NAS.
Gotcha.
It was just fading, and then somebody just hit the bid really hard at about maybe 18,240. But my suspicion is that we leak because we don't really have direction in this market. It's a crapshoot. Emphasis on the word crap, because seriously, if we're looking for directional motion, we got diddly. And
Nothing.
I think we're going to barcode all summer.
All summer?
And,
oh boy.
all summer.
Dolby will love that.
So,
Music to my
Dolby
ears.
time. Dolby lunch on you?
Well, for me too. I love range trading.
Range
It's
bound.
fantastic.
Me too.
So the thing is, I just heard this morning, I try to listen to a lot of macro things that fill in the gap. And they were talking about the political possibility of crud. I should have kept that into my 500 target. Look at that.
Oh, it's out now.
Oh, John, how's the short going? What's the target?
Well, we're right at VWAP, so I'm probably going to take it now.
Nice.
I'm
Very
in the
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
The
Yes,
Dow
sir.
just broke the VWAP too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
NASDAQ.
So anyway,
catch
they
up
were
still.
talking about whether we actually need it or not. A rate cut might come around June to September, just before the election, so that people get a feel of, hey, things are going all right. So that that will be the only thing that might give the market a jolt. But listen, I that's in June, maybe September. And so I see nothing but sideways. All big money has positioned, and they're saying to themselves, okay, let's just see where the penny drops. And they're just using their algorithms to make money intraday, intra-week, and selling options on the outsides and just treading water. I mean, if we look at weekly charts, we're still clearly in bullish formations. And so the people are going to come in, they're going to buy that dip, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to move X, Y, or Z, and we're just going to hang out here, until corporate bonds look a little sticky, and that is happening just a little bit, but it's only going to affect, the RTY. And that one is the only one that looks, like it's got the sniffles, if I'm going to say. And you know what I find to be super interesting? All that saber rattling from this morning. Hey, Lufthansa suspended flights to Iran and XYZ, and oil is down. And so in my mind, I go, whoever put that out is trying to build a narrative in one direction, and the oil traders are going, not so fast, buddy. I think we've got nothing to worry about at this juncture. And I find that to be super interesting. Now, if oil can hold this low at around 85 today, that might be all right. I wouldn't be surprised if oil came back and retested 80, right? I'm looking for it to come into 83. That's sort of my zone right there. So I'm watching for that. But yeah, we got, if you're thinking, hey, I'm just buying and going to the beach, well, good luck on you, because you're going to come back with an empty account or a call from the broker that says, yeah, you need to deposit some money. So I would say slow and easy and nice and tight. And you know what? I took 2 1 lots this morning. Literally, the trade time must have been 45 seconds, a minute and a half. And the accounts got, $625. So there needs to be no level of anxiety that you want to put on yourself. But the key zone is, what did we do on the day? What did we do in that pre-market? And how are we holding relative to the 2 candlesticks that just finished, whether we're looking at the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hourly, the daily, whatever it takes. I just realized, listen, I chopped myself to freaking ribbons on Friday. I was I was out of my mind in rage. First of all, everybody was just going, "Oh, I'm making so much money," and I'm looking at Topstep TV, and I'm like, I'm going to turn that down just a little, because if I don't, I'm going to break a mouse. And so, because everybody was doing super well, I caught myself right in the middle. And I ate up I had a fantastic morning between all my accounts. I ate everything up into the middle of the afternoon because I lost the bubble on where am I in relation to the daily levels. And that, yesterday somebody was saying, hey, what's going on with this market? I'm getting stopped out every time. And it reminded me of exactly, listen, I've been trading for a long time and I can get distracted. I'm like a Cocker Spaniel.
Squirrel.
Right? And so I get bird. I get distracted so easily. And if I am not locked on like the horse with the blinders, I will forget, hey, listen, this is a bullish market. They're going to buy that dip. They're going to buy that dip. I've been short all morning, right? So I made a ton of money in the morning. And when it started rising, it just chopped me to ribbons and just, it was awful. And so my key reminder to myself is, wait a second, what's resolving from a daily perspective? How is price action doing? And we're recovering off of those 20, a lot of RIAs, they go in and they look at that 20 simple moving average on all the futures and all the SPX and that sort of stuff. And that's what's happening. We're bouncing off of that level that we hit yesterday, and they're just trying to see if it can hold it.
Speaking of bouncing off those levels, John, we bounced right off of VWAP. A nice little cover there for that opening range trade. Although we are starting to see some sellers come through here.
Yeah.
The S&P's at 5204. Dow's broke through VWAP. NASDAQ still holding higher than VWAP. So we'll keep an eye on how that plays out. But really quick, Eddie, I do say gold, new highs in gold. Thank you, Eddie. And before we get any further, Eddie, what do we have for Eco today? We already had PPI and ECB rate, initial jobless. William spoke. What else do we have today on tap?
Alrighty then. All right, in about 13 minutes, we've got Barkin speaking. All right, Barkin will be speaking. In about a half hour, ECB President Lagarde will be speaking. Natural gas in about 42 minutes. We also got our 4-week bill auction, 8-week bill auction. Fed, Phil Collins will be speaking. We do have our WASDE report. And if you're wondering what that stands for, that is the World Agriculture Supply and Demand Estimates Report. So we're going to be having that coming up here at 11 o'clock. Don't forget, 12 o'clock, high noon here. We do have a 30-year bond auction. Bostic will be speaking at 12:30. Yes, I'm not done yet. Don't go away. Sit back down. No, that's it. I was just kidding. No, Fed balance sheet a little later on today. And I think that is it.
I covered all. All right. Good stuff, Eddie. Good stuff. Phil Collins speaking today. Who knew? Who knew he was on the Fed?
Phil Collins.
Right. You learn something new every day around here at Topstep TV.
I know.
We gotta keep it.
It's like he's going to bring a drum kit with him. So, man, that guy, I've seen Genesis a few times. I never got to see Phil Collins by himself, but that guy, you know how hard it is to sing and play drums? Well, of course, Dolby.
I do.
But
you know,
right? It is so hard. Yeah. Well, that's right. You said you were backup. Sorry.
You used to sing backup and play the drums at the same time. That's hard.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Levon Helm.
Mickey Dolenz.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
okay, so since I'm on the panel with
which drummers can sing and play at the same time?
Wow.
Mickey Dolenz.
Gotta pick like an obscure drummer though. It can't be like Phil Collins. It's too obvious.
Oh, really?
Wow, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, who else?
there's a bunch of them.
I mean, who else is
Dave
good?
Yeah,
Dave Grohl.
there's one. Karen
That's right.
Carpenter.
That's right.
Chad is like
There you go.
really
Chad's
good.
on this.
Yeah, you like
Nice.
ask Chad a question and they just like give you the answer for like everything.
Boom! I love it.
Impressive.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so since I'm on a panel with men, and I'm asking this because I notice males do this way more than women.
I'm not
What
telling
is
you our
the most
secrets,
disgusting thing that you've ever been dared to eat that you ate? My husband told me his yesterday, and it wasn't really a dare. It was sort of like he had to do it, but I'll tell you what that's all about in just a minute. So what is...
I guess I had to eat what was it? Those eggs and yogurt on TV? I had to eat something like that. Like,
That was pretty gnarly.
yeah, that was pretty gross. That was about a couple months ago. Lost a bet there. So, yeah, I had to do it on TV, too. That was pretty gross. I'm interested to hear what the guys have to say, especially what your husband ate.
I've never taken that bet, but there was a guy in the bond pit. I actually knew him from outside the business. He was, I think they pulled up $10,000 and had him eat a cockroach right in the middle of the pit.
Oh yeah, you have to pull the legs off of those, or they'll climb back up.
Oh, come on, Anne-Marie, stop that.
That is, look,
Yo.
honest to goodness, it's true.
Oh,
If you don't
Won the
melt
bet?
it down with enough water, you got to tear its legs off or it climbs up.
never again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I know this.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Grand, I'll eat
I'll tell
cockroach.
Wait.
100%.
Wait, there's more to the story.
Okay, finish the
sorry,
story.
sorry.
He won the bet,
Sorry.
but he was thrown off the trading floor for life for disrupting trading.
Wow, what?
No,
Yep.
That seems not worth it.
That was an
that's not
expensive bet.
fair.
He didn't
Oh
know
my
that
God.
that was going to
Don't
happen.
you guys
but
puke up gallons of milk?
Ew.
Yeah.
You got a head start
Dan
on screen
Sheridan,
trading.
right?
Good for him.
I remember Dan Sheridan telling that story about
Yeah.
people making bets they could drink a gallon of milk.
Oh, this
All
is
right.
getting wild.
All right, Dolby, what about
Everybody
you?
loses.
Dolby
I
time.
think uni, sea urchin, so gross.
Oof.
I'm not a
Yeah,
Jello
yeah,
guy.
that's
I don't like
an
that
acquired
texture.
taste.
It's so
Yeah.
weird and gross. Not my
Yeah,
favorite. Like
it's-
sushi.
that's-
Uni's
Yeah.
terrible.
Okay, so my husband was in the military for a couple of decades. And when you cross the equator on a cruise, that's what they call it. That's hilarious to me. But
Yeah.
they're floating on the boat and the ship. And when they cross the equator, there's an initiation, right? And one of the initiations is two of three things you could do. You could either swallow goldfish live, eat a cockroach, or eat a bloodworm sandwich on white bread. Okay, the bloodworm sandwich on white bread was the one you had to do. And then you could pick the others. So I know about the cockroach because of that. But yeah, it was just the way he described it. I was like, you got to stop. I can't take it. It was just, yeah. But it's things that men sit around and go, I dare you. I mean, there's 1,000, that's a low count there are millions of videos on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, of people, doing crazy. A lot of men. I'm going to have to say a lot. I think it's totally testosterone. I bet you can't. You can't.
I like stories.
How else are we gonna impress the women, Anne-Marie?
What's that?
I said, how else are we supposed to impress the women if it's
Yeah,
not
right.
for taking on insane bets and hoping the love of our life is watching our act of bravery?
It's
So
funny
good.
that men say, well, when they're younger, particularly, they delight in watching women get absolutely sick when they're doing things, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they're going to, it's like why 8-year-old boys throw spitballs at the girls that they like.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? What makes you think that is going to do it? It's a guy thing.
Yeah, we're not the brightest
Definitely
sometimes.
a guy thing.
Because there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why. That's exactly why.
you know, you don't get smarter in a trade. You don't get any smarter talking to a woman.
No. Anyways, guys, we got gold making new highs here. Nasdaq found some buyers as well. It's a little stuff chopping around here. Kind of been the story of the last few days.
Yeah.
Nice little open, and we'll digest and chop around here. John, nice cover there. What did you end up covering? 3s or 4s? That was a nice trade on that opening range.
4s, I think.
4s, very nice, very nice. Trading 8s right now, so we bounced off VWAP. There, Nasdaq finds some buyers. Thank you, Eddie, for alerting us to new highs in crude, trading 23.63.20.
You said crude's on new highs?
I'm sorry, gold. I got the charts right next to each other. Gold, my apologies.
I'm watching crude right now, and it's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's flat as a pancake.
Yeah. I mean, I might try to get in at like 85.34, which would be a test of like the 30-minute, kind of like the new 30-minute range low, because it's been very, very range bound. YM didn't get back to its 4-hour range low, so I still don't want to touch this yet because it's in the dead middle of its range. So maybe there's a crude trade, but I'm literally just running through markets on the side trying to find anything to take.
Copper.
Absolutely anything.
Copper.
Check that, Andre. 3s. I got 52.03s.
Hell yeah, man. Nice cover.
That was a good cover. It's almost like I knew what I was doing.
I think you do. That's why everyone tunes in.
I like Cocky Hogue.
Cocky Hogue too. Yeah, me too.
What's hockey hogue?
No, cocky Hogue.
Hockey.
Oh,
Is
I
there
like
one?
Hockey Hogue's good too, but Cocky Hogue's my favorite.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard hockey hogue.
No.
50 Shades of Hogue.
Humble, grateful,
50 Shades
creative,
of
and
Hogue.
centered.
Yeah.
Humble, grateful, creative, and centered. Humble, grateful, creative, and centered.
Taking a look at
Jack, you got any zany news?
It's coming, Anne-Marie. It's coming. Give it 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I love it, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie can't wait for your news pack, Jack.
We follow an invisible schedule that has been set upon from high.
Oh, I see. I'm unaware.
I love it. Anne-Marie's the best, man. Taking a look at Tilt for the first time today. Got 61% long buys here in the YM. That's about it. It's still 50-50 across the board in the other markets. We'll keep an eye on that. Lately, we've been seeing some super heavy long biases in YM, as high as 92% long. Did see it pull back on them, so we'll keep an eye on that as the day plays out. Kind of chopping around right now in S&Ps, NASDAQ. Gold kind of upticking towards the highs. Crude trading 85.39 here. Dolby, you said you're going to maybe possibly work some bids at just beneath there, around 33, 34, you said?
Yeah, I'm going to see if we can get 85.25 on a long. I want to see if it does like a range extension outside of the 30-minute and then pops back in again.
Okay.
There's just not a lot of like news going on today, so I'm hoping like the structure just holds up, but this is not that aggressive of an entry. If I was going to be more aggressive, I probably would have just slammed like 85.36. But we do kind of have like a megaphone formation going on in crude, which leads me to believe this is, people just playing with price for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, I can imagine this running down, testing new lows, and maybe popping back up again. So that's kind of what we're anticipating is the extension of this one to third leg down of the megaphone to see if we pop back up again. But very, very slow crude market. So we'll try to get this one idea and just leave it on there.
Very nice.
We'll try
Eddie.
50K. Mm-hmm.
Eddie, I think we got some headlines coming out from one of the Fed speakers. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Barkin coming in talking about the latest inflation data did not increase confidence. And, of course, we don't have any confidence in what they are saying. Also, Barkin said the Fed is not yet where we want to be on inflation, though it's headed in the right direction. It's a big tease over the long time frame, and also saying it's smart to take time to see if inflation slows. So there's what's going on right now with Barkin. And I'm watching the wire right now. If anything comes up, I'll pop it in.
Thanks, Eddie.
Back to you, Andre.
Thank you, Eddie. Sorry you had to read that. Sorry. Yeah. These side speakers, what would we do without you guys?
Another Topstep X feature that I just found out about is they added by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, and by 10, and by 15. So now you have more access to being able to buy or sell 2 contracts. Also a little plus and minus thing on the dome. So if you want to do 2, you just press upper plus or minus on the dome. If you want to change your
I use that one.
So that's nice. Often. I think that was asked about a lot because we're doing 1, 3, 5, like all the odds. But people want to trade 2s, so it's in there now, chat. So you can trade your 2s. I can trade my 2s.
Trade your 15s if you want to.
Forever. Yep. Yeah. I don't think the right click on chart though. That one is new. That used to be 1, 3, I think 5, but now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the right click on chart, that has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the big one.
So on a side note, I just wanted folks to know that even though the markets have been a little bit sideways, I've made probably 4 trades while we've been talking, and I have been initiating them at the same place around 18,265 and pulling them off at 18,240, 45. Wow. And it's just been wash, rinse, repeat. And so, it's the total is at 1,130.
Beautiful.
And so what I want the takeaway again to be is, listen, we can spend time. Wow, I see oil lifting off of that edge that you're watching. We can spend time waiting for markets to move. But if you're sitting in a range and you can see where buyers are coming in, or you can see where sellers are coming in, there's nothing wrong with getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out. And, a lot of times on shoulder tap, this looks a little strange because they're order after order after order that are really no longer than, 40 seconds to 90 seconds long. And it looks like a lot of motion. But at the end of the day, if that's all you've got, then that's a nice place to trade. So, a lot of times when you say, hey, listen, we want to stay in for a duration of a move, that really is dependent on whether the market is moving or not. And when we're not moving, we sometimes have to pull out our strategies that go, hey, listen, this is a range-based environment. I'm going to trade peak to trough, peak to trough, peak to trough.
The old toolbox.
Exactly.
Crude oil trade, we did not get filled. It went down to 85.28. We wanted 85.25s. It has promptly bounced about 20 ticks from that level.
Oh, brutal.
So if you did catch that one, congratulations. We missed it by just a hair. So we'll pull that order as now it's back in the middle of the range. So that's pretty much untradeable right now. I am going to work a NASDAQ long at 18,208 to see if we extend the... What range do we have in there? It's definitely ranging. I'll say 15-minute range low, so we'll try to buy that. And then I also have some orders in for the YM below the 4-hour range low, 38,550-ish. So we'll see if we can get some range extension to the downside. But I'm not diddling in the middle because those are expensive trades, and I don't like expensive trades.
Yeah, we're looking at the S&Ps. S&Ps here, chopping around 5,200s. We did see some more selling, broke through VWAP there. NASDAQ still has not got to VWAP. I got VWAP at 18,215. We're still about 15 ticks or so above that. So we'll see if we can get some follow through the downside. Gold, a couple bucks off the highs, trading 23.63. Like Dolby said, oil caught a bounce there. John, is 5,200s, is that what we're just going to be looking at to see how we react around 5,200s in the S&Ps now? Or is that still a significant number?
Well, what we were
We make
looking for was what we were looking for was value acceptance from yesterday, right? If you want to go on my charts, I mean,
let's do it.
the initial target for that trade was VWAP, which we got, which was great,
Yes, we
you
did.
know.
Beautiful.
But once we opened outside of value, left the opening range, the high of the session, reacceptance inside the previous day's valence area of value is very subjective. It's usually not a very easy trade to take. But you can see what's happening now. We opened the next 30-minute bar inside value, and now price is moving towards the low of value. We discussed this while we were still in that short, actually, at 51.94 quarter being a good target for this opening range trade. But we got it at VWAP, which is a perfectly logical first target. The next target would be value low. So I've been kind of looking to see if we build some structure down here around 51.94 quarter. If we're going to stay range bound, that might be an interesting level for an execution.
Okay, noted. Hey, Marie, I got a question for you. You said you kept selling. What were we selling there? 66s ish in the Nasdaq, and just buying it down to somewhere in the
65 to
40s.
70.
Yep. Okay. So how many times will you do that play? I mean, would you be interested in
Until it
doing it
breaks.
again?
Until it breaks.
Until it breaks. So you go. So until you're wrong. Essentially, you winner,
Yes,
and then eventually you have to have a
exactly.
loser.
Exactly. Or I see, if I see something like higher lows start to come into play, I will stop shorting the very top with any kind of regularity. But see, what I see is a trending space. I think it's going to come down and give Dolby his number to get that long. But that's really, I'll do it until it breaks. And I say this all the time. We traders, we're pretty much simpletons. We'll take a trade until it doesn't work, and then we'll go, maybe that's broken. Right? And when our price patterns break, that's new information that the market's giving us that says, the traders have decided something different. So I'm busy watching how they're dancing on the floor and thinking to myself, well, until somebody steps out of turn, then there you go. Yeah. That's the hula. Yes.
Johnny.
Dancing on the floor.
You put a luau, Johnny.
So
fire breathers.
I've seen a lot of people talking about patience in the chat. You guys want my Facebook philosophy for today?
Please.
Patience is not passive. On the contrary, it is concentrated strength. Bruce Lee.
Say that again.
That's very profound.
Patience is not passive. On the contrary, it is concentrated strength.
I like that. That is
Bruce
true.
Lee.
Patience for KV.
Boy, he had so much to say. So much to say. I love his story. I don't like the end of his story. It's a very sad story, but his life was so interesting. Such an interesting guy.
All right, we got the value low. We got the value low from yesterday. So here it is.
And what is that number? What is
value
that
low,
number,
TPO
sir?
value low was in 51.94 quarter. Basically
Gotcha.
51.94. So if we start to show some basing down here, I mean, what I would really like to see, Anne-Marie, is the initial balance to finish, an extension, and a failed auction to the downside. That would be a gift today.
How much time do you think that might take?
Good question.
Ooh. Well, the initial balance isn't finished until 9:30.
Right.
So if we're going to have a failed auction below that, there's no trade here until after 10 o'clock, unless you want to preempt it.
Right. And then the failed auction would imply that once that failed auction occurs, the rotation would imply what number as a target?
If I have multiples on, Point of control, target 1, value high, target 2.
Okay, and so value area high is what number?
It's going to change probably before then, but at this time, value high would be 52.15 quarter. The point of control is the center of the range right now, and it is 52.0575.
And we're pretty close to getting some action here in YM. I got 3 pending orders at 38,537, 525, and 512.
All right.
Wow, YM breaking hard.
Decisive.
Yeah, it's really come down. It's in a very, very big range.
Of all the indices, that's the weakest.
Yeah, and we do a Feb 13th low that I have marked on my chart that I think might be a fun little target for YM to do a stop run of. I just hope I am sized appropriately for this trade that I want to take.
Okay, so Dolby, give me those numbers again. So I want to track that.
Sure. 38,537. So 537, 525, and 512.
Okay.
And then we have a low on the daily at Feb 13th low at 512. Ooh. So that's what we're trying to play is a stop run down below the 13th low and then see if it follows us on these longs, and then we can have a nice average on a really, really broad kind of consolidation or range. So that's kind of the game that I'm trying to play here, is to get like a really cheap trade on a very long time frame. So if we do get filled, I mean, it's going to be a minute, I think, before we get out, unless the market really, really catches a bid. I'm still good. I have 3 orders working across 3 different markets. Okay, YM, I think we're going to get filled on.
Okay.
Actually,
we're selling off here. If we just broke through VWAP and NASDAQ, selling hard in NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are we? I have an order in NASDAQ too.
There you go, John.
I need to pull that one.
Here it comes into your number.
Yep. Selling across the board.
Okay, so here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ opened outside of yesterday's range, leaving the opening range the high of the day. Value acceptance in the NASDAQ doesn't come in until 18,196. That's value high.
Yeah,
TPO value high. We're already inside volume value high, but inside TPO value high is 18,196. The move would then be the value low to 18,136.
Okay, so my suspicion is that there is a scalp trade to the upside here in the NAS, but
I'm also
there's
long
a
NASDAQ.
fair bit of resistance, fair bit of resistance up at 18,240, where I've been covering for the downside pressure. So, because that stochastic RSI is above 50%, what I would expect to do on a move like this, I'm going back up to my dailies. And so I'm looking for wicks price action that says, hey, folks are coming. This is the 21 exponential on the Keltner channel. And so buyers are probably going to creep around. What's the dome saying?
Almost says it's thin as hell right now in the S&Ps.
It is very.
All right. So why do we figure that is? Why do we think that there's no participation here?
Good question. We were talking about this yesterday, John. Wait for data to come through, right? Start earnings season, perhaps next week, John. We had a couple hypotheses.
Waiting for CPI and PPI coming out. You know, a lot of people were positioned flat, hedged, whatever, and they weren't participating. We saw that in the open interest yesterday in the NASDAQ and in the S&Ps. We only lost 4,000 in open interest yesterday and 1,700 in the NASDAQ. Now, those are estimates again, but it's not going to be too far off from that. So a lot of people are just on the sidelines right now. You know, after the PPI number today, tomorrow's earnings, I think you'll see a lot of the blood come back into this market. I think that it's just a lot of folks are just kind of hands off right now. And, you know, when the dust settles and, you know, there's a little bit, you know, greater expectation or less, major economic numbers due out, anything like that. I think that might bring the participants back into the marketplace. But it has been extraordinarily thin this week. It has been.
Mm-hmm. I'm bumping my stop
So
up on my. Yeah, sorry, I have a lot to update here. Sorry, I'm actually long in two
please.
different markets. I'm long YM and
Excellent.
Nasdaq currently.
Love it.
So my Nasdaq long is 18,208 one contract, and we're going to try to get out at 18,242, which is the halfway point of the range. And then we're also long one YM 38,537 as well. So two different trades going on right now. Yeah.
Dolby time.
What is your target in the YM?
It would be half of range, which would be just a hair under, let's say 38,683.
Okay.
So big targets, right? So we're playing big ranges. And so what I'm trying to, as part of the discipline challenge, is pick a exit system. And so if I'm trading a big range, I want my my take profits to be like relative to what's going on within the range. So, okay, we're out of NASDAQ. That rolled over. So we lost $100 on that one because we were tight on our stop. So we can close this. And then we're going to keep the YM one open and see how that plays out.
Okay. Very good.
We got a 72% short bias here in NASDAQ. Yes, 74% short bias in NASDAQ. Nothing else really heavy tilted one way or another. 77% short, 78% short NASDAQ now as we do continue to break here.
Okay, I'm long 3 YM.
All right.
At 38,509.
NASDAQ is, diving into value from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
The Dow is already all the way through the value area from yesterday. And
Dow's leading this move to the downside, I'd say.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, price action is not great. So hopefully this will catch some sort of bid. If not, we're just going to melt lower. So if we can get back up to my entry, I'll probably move my stop up because our risk is a little bit hot right now. But with this kind of momentum, we might just be hosed on this account today. But we'll see what happens. Momentum is not good for this trade.
Someone hit the brakes for Dolby.
Yeah, I know. Someone come in. Someone call Pelosi real quick and give us a bid.
Line one, Pelosi. Oh man,
yeah,
so good. We're still selling off here in the S&Ps. Dow as well, lows and Dow.
Come on, catch a bid.
Catch a bid is right. We're not doing a whole lot.
Go ahead, Andre.
No, just recapping here. We got 72% short in the NASDAQ, 75% short in gold. Anne-Marie, 72% short in the YM. So they're getting with this momentum. John, I'm going to ask you for a delta update here after Anne-Marie makes a very nice point. What do you got, Anne-Marie?
So, well, I wanted to jump on that NASDAQ short all the way up at, what do we have, 70%? What we just did was we lost the close of yesterday, and now I'm looking into, what day would that be? Tuesday, the low wick of Tuesday. And I think that's the target of where all these short NAS traders are going. And so immediately you can see that right into that target, all of a sudden that short tilt started evaporating. And so I took a long there. I'm a little bit, I think I got in a little bit too early, but it is bouncing off of that range because when the tilt matches key areas I can see on the daily chart in terms of a target, I will try to position in the opposite direction. I just think I jumped the gun. My entry point should really be closer to 18,168 or so. But I mean, it is green. It just, I should have waited a little bit longer, but that's why I took the trade and how I'm using the tilt right now as I develop more information on how to use the tilt. So that's what I'll do. I'll look for those really high call outs. I'll be working on some other things and trading elsewhere. And one of you guys will call out that tilt. I love how you do that, Andre. You do that really often, and it really alerts me to hang on. Let's go see if it matches a level on the day that I can see. And if it does, I position the opposite way. If it doesn't, I don't do anything.
Yeah, like Doge says, just add a tool in the old toolbox there. Like when you see if it lines up with a level, it's something you can act upon. If not, it's just something to know. You can trade with it, you can trade around it, you can trade against it. It's just
I
nice
still
to
think
know.
my tilt indicator on the chart is going to be a hit.
Yeah,
it absolutely
I'm looking
is.
forward to that for sure.
Oh, on the overlay?
100%.
Oh, on the overlay on the chart? Yeah, for sure.
We just came down within a few ticks of weekly kickoff low here at 5180 in the S&Ps. That's been supportive for the last couple of sessions here.
That February 13 low just got tested in the Dow. How are you doing in your Dow?
Oh, we got stopped out.
What's happening there?
We're down 691 in the 50K account, so we're just kind of chopping around. Did not get the bounce that we wanted. Might have had a little bit too much size on. There really wasn't a trade unless you got that short right at like 8:30. That would have been the range trade. Is that one, and then anything else after that just would have been a continuation trade. So swing and a miss, if you will.
So I took the long down closer to your lowest level at 512. I decided to go long at the 500 zone.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching that. I suspect again it's going to be that relief bounce where everybody goes, okay, there's my target. I'm getting out of here. I just don't know how long it's going to last.
I mean, we got stopped out at 38,487, and I think the low was 38,485. So 2 ticks. It's kind of it happens a lot when you range trade. It's either you get totally smoked or you get stopped out by a little bit and it runs in your favor. So definitely unlucky on that one, but maybe I was just a little bit too early. But it looks like it's catching a bid now. So love you. Love trading. We love trading so much. But that might have been one of those situations.
Listen, you know what? It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
It does happen to all of us. And what I've learned in this current market, and I think John said it on Monday. He said, how did you put it, John? You said something about a market change or whatever. You know how we've been watching these markets and literally for months it hit the low and just everybody hit the bid. And we look at these days that were just V-shaped over and over and over and over again. And then about maybe 2 months ago, we started with this, I think I'll dip down here just a little further and still the dip. Only it took a little bit longer. And I was just also shredding myself there, just barely pulling it out. The great thing is once you've been trading a long time, when you do have a crap day, you go, all right, we'll get back at it tomorrow. It doesn't affect your psyche in the way that it does when you're younger, because you obviously go, I don't know what I'm doing. And by younger, I mean just younger in the journey, not necessarily your youth itself. So from that perspective, John made reference to it early this week. And so I have just been saying, I'm going to wait for those lower levels. So when Dolby says, hey, I'm looking at a long here, or I'm looking at a short here, I will listen to his levels and I'll go, all right, where on the daily chart do I see those buyers really saying, I've got no alternative other than to go long? And I'll try to get myself long near his numbers. And his lowest numbers have really been spot on, Dolby. And I know that that's probably what annoys you from that restraint perspective, because your numbers have been really good. For me, I've just risked getting left behind a little bit more in order to say when it does come down, I'm going to go and I'm going to start hitting the bid right there. And that has been because I've loved your levels. They've been fantastic. I've just picked the lowest one and said, all right, let me, because I feel like the market change, to come back full circle to what John was saying, the market change is telling us, listen, they're not so eager to buy like they did before. Like, let me see what happens right here. And so I think that's really how the traders are behaving.
Yeah, I am going to try longs again in YM on the 150K account. And we're just going to play similar levels, but I do want to see if this maybe pulls back a little bit and tests again before it rips higher. But I'm not interested in playing like a breakout out of it. That was my trade. Like, I don't really want to dive back in. I got stopped out, and it is what it is. So I'll wait for a pullback and see if we can get it. But I'm not chasing.
No chasing. Not worth it.
No chasing.
Not worth it. Not worth it. Another trade will come, Dolby. You know that.
They always do.
Yes, they do. All right, guys. Well, we are seeing a bit of a bounce in the sell-off here, or a snapback in the sell-off here. The equities. With that being said, Anne-Marie, we're a little bit late, but we're going to get that wacky news pack to you right now. Jack, if you're there, Anne-Marie's been waiting eagerly for the news. So can we give it to her, please?
I'm here. 2 markets, 1 wacky. We'll start with the markets. From Bloomberg, just reminding to keep your eye on the 10-year rates. Bond traders preparing for 5% rates again. If you look right now, the 10-year is at about 4.584. It's at its highest in a long time, at least since November, which makes sense given all the rate cuts off, but keep an eye on where that's going. Next, this may be self-evident, but the real estate component of the S&P 500 has fallen to an all-time low ratio against the rest of the S&P 500. This is obviously also tied to rates. High rates, more expensive, fewer people are buying, more work from home, all sorts of stuff here, but an interesting place to look. And now for the zany Anne-Marie. Some smugglers were caught.
No.
Trying to smuggle $10 million worth of gold that they had molded into airplane parts and then spray painted silver or to look like metal. But when they went through the X-ray,
it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, respect the effort.
Apparently not, Eddie.
At first pass.
A for effort, though. You got to give it to them.
A for effort. They were apparently trying to avoid tariffs in Japan. But what's interesting is the problem with airline parts is people tend to notice if they're kind of bent, which gold is famously soft. So the ruse was uncovered. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. And lastly, just a shout out from someone in our Facebook is, cheers to the Topstep community. Well, Ryan, cheers to you too. That looks like one of the good Luxardo cherries on top. Good looking, old fashioned, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
We're almost to the weekend.
Cheers.
I am long 2 in YM, long 3 in YM, and let's see if the 5-minute wants to hold.
Thank you, Jack.
What's your stop for the YM?
38,466. The ranges. This is like kind of the thing with range trading. If like the ranges don't hold, it does not look like you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And then if the range does hold, you look like an absolute genius. And there is no in between. No in between.
Absolutely.
Or you could just say, hey, I accept that it could be a range trade and I'm going to get stopped out if it's not. Right?
Yeah.
No judgment. No judgment.
Well, I'm trying to get to a point where I don't want to... Sorry. I want to make sure I'm taking trades that are in system, and I want to take all of them. So if the idea of like fear enters into my head, it's like, am I not taking this trade because I'm scared of losing money or because it's not a good setup? Well, if it's a good setup and I'm scared of losing money, then the good setup needs to take precedent over the fear of losing money. Because eventually you will end up making, if you know your system's good, then you should be fine.
I like what Andy says here. Ranges can win over and over again, but they can only die once.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's kind of the system.
Very well put.
If you're doing it right, that's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, trend traders all look like geniuses in days like today, where you just keep on following the trend, and then range traders look stupid, and then vice versa when the market switches. It's just like how trading kind of works. Not everybody can be right all the time. I moved my stop
We
up
got
to
real quick here. We got gas
38,470.
coming up here in
Oh, yeah.
just about a minute. If
Thank
you
you,
are
Eddie.
trading natural gas, make sure you're flat. Sorry, D.
No, it's okay. I moved my stop up, so now we're only risking 370. It's just the momentum is not really there. Like if you're range trading, like you really want buyers to step in, like really, really fast and
Exactly.
kind of support price, and they've been lackadaisical to say the least.
Ooh. I always had trouble spelling that word.
I just say it. I
Lackadaisical?
never spell it. Yeah.
I had
Love you,
trouble
Anne Marie.
spelling that word. That is a hard word to spell.
Well, my 5180 level held, and I was right on it with a bid, and I didn't get it. So we'll see what happens next. Go ahead, Eddie.
So we got some
All right,
news.
nat gas. They were looking at 13 billion cubic feet, coming in at 24 billion cubic feet. The prior was negative 37, so got a big change there in natty gas. Back to you, Johnny.
Should that
Someone
push
spell
oil
in the
back
chat.
down?
No, it doesn't really care about netted gas.
That's interesting since it's a byproduct.
Yeah, it kind of operates on its own little wavelength, making
That's very
everybody miserable
interesting.
at different times. NASDAQ is catching a bid. I do have a 30-minute range high here that it's bumping up against it, 18,214. So maybe if that can happen, then indices will start catching a bid as well. I think that'd be pretty fun for anyone who's trading right now.
Nat gas extended the range to the downside after the number came out. Nothing huge though.
So
NASDAQ
okay,
catching a
cool.
bid here.
We're finally in the
NASDAQ
money.
running through VU app right now.
That's a good sign. It's a good sign. Yep. So our take profits for this YM trade is going to be 38,662.
Okay.
And the other one is going to be the top of range, which is 38,800. So we're going to be sitting in this one for a while, chat, a long, long while. And then the third contract would be brick outside of range. Probably not going to happen today. So if we do get to the first take profit, I'll probably go to break even on everything else, and then just like bump them up as we start making highs again. No, I am not trading NASDAQ, Mark. This is a YM trade. And I'll move my stop up a little bit. So now we're only risking 370.
Gold selling off hard.
What's selling off?
Gold selling off hard.
Gold.
Sorry about that, Dolby. Gold selling off hard. NASDAQ S&P's catching a bid. With that bid I was just talking about in the S&Ps, we see an 80% long bias right now in the S&Ps. Also have a 71% long bias in the NASDAQ as well, as we continue to see this will be a rally just to buy up. But yes, 78% long bias in the ES. Gold was selling off there while Dolby was talking about his trade. Crude selling off as well, making new lows here. Dolby time 85.24, 85.26, 85.
Ooh, I wanted to buy 20s. Hold on. Let me get an order
right.
and to buy one at 85.20.
Let's trade
I
that
missed
range.
my entry, but I'm hoping some of you caught that long down there around 51.81 in the crude in the S&Ps weekly kickoff low 51.80.
Beautiful. Have those levels
Hoping
up,
some of
people.
you got it.
Those levels are money.
Looks like YM is coming back down again.
So, Dolby, let me ask you a question about this long trade that you have that you're going to wait on.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a time frame that you're looking at like that, and you're looking at the price action, does the notion of trend or relative support and resistance come into your mind to help you decide, hey, I'm going to stick this out and hang on to it? Because here's in open, when I'm looking at your trade and I'm saying, okay, I see why you might want to buy the dip right there, but to hold it for an extended time when the near-term trend is down, that is something that makes me put a question mark there. And so how do you frame that out? Listen, obviously it's working well for you at this juncture as price action continues to hold off of the bounce, but at any time do you say, okay, relative to trend, who's in my way? What's stopping me from getting to that, 600 and X number or 700 and X number? How do you find a place for trend when you're staring something down, or are you just saying, listen, this is range, and so trend really doesn't matter, and so I'm going to hold it on these rotations? What is?
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, trend doesn't really matter so much. It's just really about finding the largest range I can find and then trading that range and making sure I'm taking trades
with the smallest stop, so you can have that cheap. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so you can get those bigger profits. And then as far as profit taking, the idea of range trading is just, if we're still going to be in a range, if it's a 4-hour range and it's like 200 ticks. Well, if the market has done that range before, then it can probably do the range again. So that's the idea. This take profit system might not stick around until May.
Got it.
Like we're trying it because that's part of the challenge that I'm doing to myself, is because I don't really have a great take profit system. So I just want to run something and see how it does. So this is the one that we're going to run. So all my take profits and everything is just based off of market structure. And that is it. This might not be the most efficient take profit system for this strategy. I'm totally okay with that.
Got it.
Totally okay. It's just everything's based on structure.
Discovery. Exactly.
I'm terrible at reading momentum, so I really shouldn't be basing my trades off of momentum. My crude oil trade is doing not great, but it's not dead yet. None of my trades have really done great so far. Like the price action has not been favorable towards anything I've put on. I'm just probably not as in tune as I need to be making good trades today.
New lows in crude. New lows in crude, 85.12.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. And I got 85.20s in crude. Like maybe we can get 20, 30 ticks in this on a bounce. Let's try to add one more here actually. But I just feel like I'm just buying. I'm catching falling knives right now. It's kind of the feeling I'm getting here.
Yeah, I think the whole market feels a little bit like that, right? It feels like people are waiting for bounces to sell them right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why it's like important to journal too. It's like maybe eventually I do end up losing money on some of these trades. Maybe they win. Anyways, let's say for my 50K account, I placed a bunch of trades. They were within system and they were losing trades. Is that, my fault as a trader, or is it just, what happens in the market is like we just can't win them all? And so that's why I've started journaling recently, because it helps to kind of get yourself out of your head. It's like, am I actually a bad trader because my P&L is down? Well, what happened?
No, I'm saying once you start asking yourself that question, I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very uncomfortable place to be. You start questioning yourself, questioning your trades, your thought process, your take profit system. It's
and then you don't want to get into that cycle of like, rotating strategies because we're like in the pursuit of perfection to never have a losing day. So having that journal and writing it down and going back and looking at your trades, it's like, actually that wasn't a bad trade. It just maybe ran an extra 5 ticks, outside of the range I anticipated, but 8 times out of 10, that trade is totally fine. So, it's important to do that journaling to get yourself out of your head and take time to actually review your trades and be like, am I actually a bad trader, or was this a good trade that just didn't pan out?
So if I could be mom for a second.
Sure.
I would say it's never a good idea to frame questions that associate your identity with any kind of process, right? And so I would say, listen, I know this well. I was just so awful that I would go, my gosh, you're so bad at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we can all be bad at something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have to be a bad something. We can just
True.
be bad at it in the moment.
Mhm.
And we're working through the path to excellence. And so my thought would be, at the end of the day, you know that you can make good trades.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
know that you can. And so when a trade doesn't work or you get yourself in a slump, my thought is always, listen, go back to the absolute basics. So right
Mhm.
now you are working on developing exit strategies.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, that's critically important. But more than that, it's, can I make money on this trade? And so I think going from, hey, I'm developing new exit strategies, to a space where you go, wow, that's giving me a wide range on what's going on. I feel like there's a middle step in between what it is that you're trying to do. And the one thing I don't want it to do is affect your psyche in any kind of way that goes, gosh, my bad trader. No, I am making a bad trade, or this trade went bad. That's my favorite thing to say. This trade went bad. Was it a bad trade? You know, a lot of times we go, no, that really wasn't a bad trade. It just didn't work out.
Exactly.
And that's the only thing. I'm hearing language that if I was hearing it from one of my kids, I would go, hang on a second. What we're doing is sort of rubbing sandpaper on our brain.
Oof.
And what we really should be doing it is protecting it from any kind of negative energy that stops performance for continuing, right? You know, everybody has, you know, I talk about my son often. I haven't talked about him in a while, but as a professional basketball player, when he sits and does interviews, sometimes he's very frank. He's like, listen, I can't even tell you how many times I laid in my bed and cried my eyes out because I either wasn't getting my shot, or when I got my shot, it blew up or whatever. And we have a great power in the sense that we don't have a coach that's essentially in charge of our careers. We can go, I'm that coach. And so the goal always should be, how do I reinforce my mental state? How do I make sure I'm at peak? And how do I look at each of my failures to go, wait a second, were my feet set right here? Did I make sure that my risk was right? Did I size up too quickly? And that ends up being the process that we follow through. So I want to jump in there because I think you're just a lovely young person. And I'm hearing language that I would jump on and go, oh, no, we got to break that. We got to break that so that you are just, because you're very accomplished. And listen, I love your levels. I'm taking them all the time. And they're great levels. I'm just not entering the same way that you are.
Right.
And so just work on that. Hey, was this a good trade, rather than, man, just making all these bad trades.
Love that.
Am I a bad trader? Yeah. So that's it. I'll get off the soapbox.
Beautiful. Anne-Marie, how good are those vibes, Topstep TV? Please click like if you like what you just heard there. Please click subscribe. We're a couple. Dude, that was incredible, Anne-Marie. You're so sweet. And you're not wrong. It's very, very wise. You know, words of wisdom coming from you. We really appreciate that. That's what we're here for, Topstep TV and the whole community in general. That was beautiful. If you guys liked what you saw there in the chat, put a heart in there. Click that heart. Click subscribe. Click like. That was awesome, Anne-Marie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, really quick. Let's get some hot streaks in here. JD, if you're there, tell them about these hot streaks we got going.
All right, here we go. I know the markets
Yeah,
are moving,
there's
so let's
JD.
rip through these real quick.
Missed you yesterday.
James, if we can get those hot streaks up, please. All right, our leader, Jacob, took another day off, so his 32-day streak is still intact, but since he didn't trade yesterday, he is not on the list today. All right, Che was back in the markets yesterday, picked up about $25 in the micro NASDAQ to extend the hot streak to 26 days. Gabriel now with 23 days, and Arian, Petrus, and Tien are all sitting at 19 days. Nice job, everyone. All right, yesterday's best live funded P&L leaders. All familiar names on the list today. We'll start at the bottom. She picked up $2,800. David with close to $4,000 on the NASDAQ. Venkata with $4,200. Venkata now has a 2-day running total of more than $11,000. Dakota. Why wouldn't Dakota be on the list, right?
Yeah, right.
Another 4,300 for Coach Dakota in the live
Animal.
account yesterday.
My goodness.
And our leader for a day is Jesus, who took home a stellar $9,600 straight in the NASDAQ yesterday. Well done, everyone.
Nice.
Big numbers, man. Dakota on fire lately.
Yeah, he's doing great stuff. So
The
YM
beast.
trade, the Dakota. The YM trade is doing decently. We're actually stuck in a
Yes.
5-minute range, and we need to break up and out of 38,000, like 545, if this really wants to make a serious move to the upside. But really nice consolidation down here on the 5-minute. So it won't last forever. We do have some nice things going in our favor here. A series of higher lows, love seeing that, and then also even some higher highs a little bit. So we kind of have like a little mini upwards channel here in the 1 minute. Obviously, it's not the strongest of time frames, but we'll take anything we can get as far as making a bull case for our bull position. So long 38,495. My stop is at break even. So let's see if we can get a reversal on this one.
Good looking trade.
I have a Topstep X question.
Mhm.
Is there a way to hover on the candles that will tell us the high, low, and close of the day? Or is there like
Yeah.
a
Each
data
candle?
box? Right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Could somebody tell me how to do that?
I think I don't know how to do it because I prefer it off.
Yeah, mostly off.
Yeah.
But I wanted to look at the YM, the low of yesterday, which
Oh, here
looks
we
like
go.
it's about
It's
18,582.
right click
how
on
do
the
you do that?
chart, go to chart settings at the bottom, and then go to status line, and then OHLC values. And then that will toggle the open, high, low, and close in the upper left-hand corner.
Excellent.
Right there.
Love.
Yeah.
Robert
Happy
comes
woman.
in. She can turn it
Happy,
on in the
happy.
status bar. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Man.
Beauty.
You can see I have those on my charts here.
hmm
Excellent.
Actually,
I'm
they
gonna
don't
do
take up
that.
a whole lot of space either. So
No.
I'm going to keep mine up just for reference. So we could be sitting in this YM trade for a very, very, very long time.
Let's do
Very
it.
long time. Yeah. Because we entered this at,
Strategy.
hold on, order old trades. Yeah, we've been in this since 9:30ish and counting. So this could be a half hour to a 1 hour trade as far as duration goes.
Crude continuing to put in new lows.
Yes,
I'm
it
happy I'm
is.
done with
Yeah.
that mess.
Dolby's over it. Cracked
So
beneath
over it.
85 evens. Yes, and I thank you, John. We've got the NASDAQ and S&P's catching bids. Dow as well. Let's go. Let's do this, Dolby. While we watch these trades, Eddie, I haven't heard from you in a minute. Eddie, I think little Birdie told me some good news. I think you passed the combine there, Eddie. Talk to me, Eddie. Eddie, what did you
Good
do in
news.
gold? You in gold. What did you do?
50K combine. I passed it today. I got that drop down.
Excellent.
Let's
Oh.
go.
Nice job.
Yeah, put up about 1,200. Got me through
Nice.
the 3,000.
Nice.
And I tell you, folks, you're looking for the big account. If you can't trade small, you can't trade big. So I really like the 50K account. Had a good run. Caught it on a bear move. So 50K combine passed. And
Nice, that's
also,
awesome.
My guy.
we got some plugs here today. If you like what we're doing, I like what we're doing. Do you like what we're doing? You want to keep up with Top Step TV crew? Remember, we've got Instagram, right? Lots of cool things that we post each and every day on Instagram. So don't miss out. We're going to post that link in the chat. And also, did you know that you can submit requests to have new features added to Topstep X? You could click on the icon. The icon is on the far left side of the Topstep X platform. You see that big question mark. And you can have suggestions, make your own suggestion, or you can vote up someone else's suggestion. So you can also view the Topstep X roadmap and changelog to keep you up to date. And that's what I've got, Andre, and back to you and the team.
Thank you, Eddie. Congratulations, man. Busted his ass. Covering up that.
Congrats, Eddie.
Hell yeah, Eddie. Covering up that gold market. That's what we love to see, man.
Yeah, that is
the
awesome.
Journeys, man. The journey. Robert's going through a fresh combine. Dolby's been going through combines. Eddie's been going through combines, man. So what we're here to do is support you through your trading journey here at Topstep. So it can be done, man. Good job, Eddie. Good on you, man. Good on you. Hey, quick update on that tilt. We did see a 78% long reading in the ES. We are peeled back a little bit to 71% now. YM 74% long there, Dolby time in the YM. So we'll see if we can get some more upside movement there.
We're just holding, baby. We're just holding.
We're gonna hold for a long time. I like where your head's at there, Dolby. Let's see how the sucker plays out.
Yeah, keep that sucker for a while.
Yeah, man.
Yep, we're gonna let the system play out, even though it drives me crazy. I think Robert's going through the same thing. We're all trying to get out of our comfort zone a little bit. It's even more fun doing it live. Try to keep your composure while you.
What did we sign up for, Dolby? What
the stresses of the market. Yeah, so we're gonna keep this 3-lot on and just wait for our targets to get filled. If we get stop out for break even, that's fine. It's part of the strategy. We're just gonna let it play out. We're playing a really, really big range. This is like a 4-hour range, so there's a whole lot going on here.
Hey, speaking of passing combine, shout out to David Arriaga. Passing another $150,000 combine. Shout out to David Arriaga. Everyone's passing combines lately. See, I love the good vibes, man. Good stuff, Johnny. Good stuff to see, man.
It's TopstepTV.
Hell yes, Anne-Marie. Hell yes.
I could take a look at crude again if we get to 84.66. Something that I did miss in my analysis of crude is that we're stuck in a daily range, and we want to trade the largest range we can find. And so me taking longs, so my long basically just looks like a little pebble in the water in the middle of a daily range. So that's most likely why I just got my face melted, is because there's a larger force at play, and it's the daily range that is at play. And so, my long on a 5-minute is just kind of arbitrary. It's just stuck in the middle. So it's important to have those bigger time frames so you kind of see what's going on.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yep. And then YM, we're still hanging in there. So hopefully it catches a bid back at the Feb 13th low, which is 38.512. Let's see if that catches a bid there. Yeah. But we might.
Anne-Marie, any trades of late? I know you carved it up earlier this morning, playing that range there in the NASDAQ. Okay.
I did. I took 2 of them. I'm on another 150K combine. I've just said, hey, I made about 1,200 on that one. I'm just going to go to another one. And so this one is up 711. So I made 2 or 3 of the same types of trades. One was bad, and but the others have been great. I just my mental framework right now is, hey, listen, I'm seeing broad markets that are below the close of their prior days, except for the NQ. And so the wind is not really at anybody's back. And so all the bounces, I expect the NQ to fade, because we don't have, the Magnificent 7 or the Fantastic 4 moving the price action up. And so I literally, every time I get close to this line in the sand that's near 18,260, I've been taking the shorts because it's now the new line that I'm looking at that says, all right, well, we can't get up over there anymore. So that's the range that I'm trading. And so if I look at it, really, it's telling me that I could have the wind come and cut the legs out from under me because they are starting to hold out of this range above 18,216. And so this might be the last short that I get to take before the price action begins to lift and stay higher.
Anne Marie, I need an Anne Marie moment. I had an order in to buy my 5180 level. It got within 3 ticks of it and has just left me behind. I'm feeling very sheepish about that. I should have just bought it and taken whatever happened, but I was demanding my level, which I have a big tendency to do. If it doesn't get there, then I get left behind. I'm really triggered by that, I guess you could say. And I don't really get triggered that often, but when I miss something like that, it just irks me. I would have rather taken the loss
feel you.
than have missed it.
Yeah.
I do. I feel you. It's almost the same as getting stopped out on the tick. Only it's, you really are sitting in a space of, oh, wow, opportunity cost versus, oh, wow, physical cost when we get stopped out on the tick like that. And it's just, again, my thing is I stopped my double guessing because literally all I'm trading off is the daily chart. If it's not at a clean daily level, and your number right there was so sweet on a daily level. I mean, on my chart, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days of touching that number and immediately rocketing to the upside. And I wanted to follow in that trade, but I was short in the NAS and my brain was going, so, yeah, but I wanted to take that long. It helped me actually get out of my short.
Yeah, I'm just
Johnny,
inner dialogue is hurting me right now. You just have to talk back to that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Exactly.
I've missed better trades. I'll miss trades. Yeah. It's okay. Next one will be coming.
100%, Johnny. 100%.
Does seem like a tough-ish day.
Yeah, and again, it's because there's so much tight sideways action, right? If you're looking for trend continuation, or you're looking for anything that says, hey, this is going to be a nice, easy ride to the north, it's simply not there because so many people are in this range-based mental framework that says, hey, I gotta see money, take money. See money, take money, see money, take money. And there are a lot of us that are trading like that right now. And it's going to make the markets all sloppy like. Ooh, here's that 185 number in oil. Did you say you're waiting until 84 what?
84, like 66. I have a daily range low. There's a bunch of little wicks down there that go back to
Yeah, I see them.
April 4th, April 7th, April 10th. And that's what I was saying. It's like I wrote this down in my journal actually a couple of days ago. It's like, always trade the largest range and don't take a trade in the middle of the range that's kind of opposite of what is going on, like in a broader area. So my long was dead center of a daily range. And so if you go back and plot it, you'll be like, oh, that chart, that trade makes no sense. Look, I have a daily range here and I'm long right in the middle. So my odds of success are really 50-50 because you're kind of betting for what a daily range to reverse. I mean, that's kind of a big call out. So it was an expensive trade relative to the daily range is kind of what I'm trying to say here.
Take a look at the weekly chart in oil, if you wouldn't mind.
Let me see if I
can.
And
have a look at what's going on into the pullback of support from a wick that is...
You talking about October 16th?
Yes.
Yeah.
See that it's already
That's a-
hit that low, I don't know, yesterday or something.
That's my daily range low right there at 84.66. That's the one.
And look at where it's battling right now. The close of one candle, the open of one candle, and the high of one candle.
Yeah.
September 25th, and then 18th, and then 11. So if you want to talk about slosh,
It's very sloshy.
that's here that they'll be working through. Yeah, a lot of slosh and slush.
I guess even if you are bullish crude long term, like you don't necessarily mind crude consolidating only like $2 under the previous high. Like that's actually kind of bullish because it's not like it got like rejected super hard and peeled off like $5 to $10. It is tested highs and it's kind of hanging out up here at highs. It's not really trying to make a big effort to go lower. So that's maybe kind of why I might hop back in at 84.66 because it's worked the last 4 or 5 times to get that. We're almost at break even on YM here. It's starting to catch some offers. So we might get stopped out of this one. We'll see. We need the Feb 13th low to hold. And if that does hold and we get back to 38,555, I will move my stop up. But we are kind of in a dangerous territory right now. So we'll see how this plays out.
So John, if it comes back to your level, are you going to take the long again? I mean, are you going to consider taking the long again if it comes back to that level?
Because it's going to be real cheap.
Okay. All right. And the number is...
Although third time's usually a charm. My preference would be to see it take out the low and then leave a failed auction below that. And that would be the most solid setup that I could ask for down there.
Right.
Which is kind of what I was looking for to get in. But I was a couple ticks too cheap. But I might let the market kind of go through it, see if it rejects below it, and then get into the long is basically what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know. It seems choppier than yesterday, but like more choppy, but still range bound.
Yeah, it's super choppy.
Yeah.
What's coming on the news on Friday?
Speaking of news
right now.
Speaking of news, we got one for you guys. We got one for you guys
right now. As number 32, Buffalo Bills. O.J. Simpson has called it a day. Who became the most famous figure in the U.S. during his murder trial in the 90s, has died of cancer.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. And you know what? A little question here. We're going to put up a poll here to see if you think if he did it or if he didn't. Can we put that poll up here?
This is MP's
now
idea.
the juice is finally going to come
Oh
down.
my God.
Idea. This is MP's.
You know what we mean.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. You know what we mean.
Is it a little hot for you down
here?
Was that Haiti? Oh boy. Oh man.
That is
man.
freaking hilarious.
You know what we mean. Oh boy.
That is cry-worthy.
Jim Carlton, I told you we had something cooking behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my word. That is so funny. Look at the votes pile in.
Look at these votes coming in hot. Yikes.
Oh my goodness.
Jim Carlton, man. What the hell? OJ.
That is hilarious.
That was quite a story back then.
Oh my goodness sakes. I literally, you know what, when we start experiencing things on a very high emotional level, we really can lose our minds. We really, really can. So much chemistry just blocks everything that makes sense, and we choose to do all kinds of things. And it's amazing what the lack of self-control, how it exhibits in our lives. And he was just one of those guys where it was like, so much there. I mean, he had an amazing football career, and nobody even talks about that. It's just crazy.
It's a real shame.
It is a shame. It's
There's
so
a lot
sad.
going on right now, guys. There's a lot. Amy, are you making excuses for O.J. Simpson right now? Are you
No,
an apologist for
I'm
O.J.?
just saying, there by the grace of God go I, right?
Yeah.
I can't go, oh, I would never do that. I'd like to say I'm never going to do something outrageously horrific. But you can really lose your mind. You can become so emotionally, what's the word when you
Crime of passion. Crime of passion.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, definitely tons of crime of passion, but compromised. You can become so emotionally compromised that you do things that you go, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And we can each look at ourselves right this minute and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just said that. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Or whatever. We just literally lose it. And it's that you've got to learn to manage yourself.
I got to ask, I mean, you seem like you're so loving, you're so caring, you have such a big heart. I mean, have you ever had a time where you've kind of, lost control? I just, I'm getting a lot of pressure behind the scenes asking this question. I'm getting a lot of pressure behind the scenes asking this question. What's the worst thing you've ever done, Anne Marie? We got to know. I mean, have you?
Oh my God!
Have you forgot to pay the parking meter once? Have you forgot to pay a parking ticket
out
once?
of rage?
Yeah, I mean, have you broken a mouse before?
Oh God, yeah,
Danielle, I owe you for this one.
In my old office, I had my front door and then my French doors, and I had my old office. And sometimes I would trade so badly that I would yank my keyboards out and throw them in the yard. I would throw. Oh yeah, wow. I have a very, very quick temper, but it's also I don't keep anything inside. I just go, and it's done. It's gone. Nothing. I'm done. And so that's really great because things don't build up in me. Because if they built up in me, I probably would have burned something down. But literally, my temper is really bad. It's just, and it's gone.
No, you're not in my book yet, so you're okay.
Oh my God! No, listen. The worst thing I've ever done was really an accident, and I wasn't mad at all. But when I was young, I probably, if there's a psychiatrist or psychologist listening, just stop, and then after I'm done, then you can go ahead. But I loved fires. I've always loved fires. Love watching them burn. Love making fires in the fireplace. Love watching matches burn. Okay, so I just had done a whole load of laundry. And when you use a fabric softener in laundry, it actually makes it much more, what's the word? Right? So I'm sitting there, and it was when I smoked way long ago, and I'm smoking my cigarette, and I'm looking at the match, and it starts seeping down. I don't even do anything, and it gets too close to my fingers, and I drop it. Literally, all of my towels burst into flames. And I'm sitting in the living room of my apartment watching these things and just trying to stamp them out with more towels. And so, yeah, but I really have a terrible, terrible, terrible temper. And the big thing that I've gone through life is learning to manage and have extreme self-control. If you can have extreme self-control, you have a superpower. You really do. It is a superpower to have extreme self-control. And I have to work at it every day. I literally have to work at it every day.
It's definitely a practice. Definitely a practice.
Calamity Anne Marie.
Tell about
Jesus.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, let's just tie up the loose end here on that poll. Did he do it? Parentheses, you know what we mean. over almost 800 votes in 3 minutes. Great response here. 84% said yes. The other 16% said no. So yeah, that closes the
Andre?
case. Yeah.
What's the worst thing you ever did?
Like I said, I've got a couple unpaid parking tickets. I can show you right here. A couple unpaid parking tickets as we speak. This is from Aspen. These are from Aspen. I forgot to pay parking tickets in both Snowmass and Aspen. So there you go. The worst thing I've ever
You don't
done.
have to
My
pay
unpaid
those.
parking tickets. How about that? It's ready to go. Prop comic. How about that, John?
Are you
I
being
got
honest?
flat my YM. I got flat my YM. We're gonna
I
try
saw
it
it pull
again.
back
Though.
there, Dolby.
We're gonna try it again.
All right, let's do it.
Dolby, what's the worst thing you ever did?
Here we go.
Talk shit to Dakota.
Oh God,
That one, Ralph.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh boy,
no.
what a morning, Jack. What do we got, Jack? Bail us out on this one, Jack.
Let me wrap it up. You know,
Thank you.
OJ would have made a terrible trader because of impulse control. Work on your impulse
Yes.
control. Anne Marie's a pyro. Andre is a delinquent with parking tickets.
Yep.
The worst thing Dolby has done has been to question Dakota.
Yeah,
I think we're summed up.
Our
there.
number one trader. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. So we were going to show real quick. We had that caption contest from yesterday. We just wanted to give another opportunity for people to submit real quick, and then we'll pick out some winners. You still have that over there, James?
Nice.
Yes.
Oh
Once
yeah.
again,
What a picture. What a picture.
That's my
risk
first
teams-
seeing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Our risk manager staring into the sun. JD.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's see if I can get that form posted
I
real
like how
quick.
they're-
But you'll remember what this photo looks like.
Pointing at it.
Yeah, I know. JD's like, there it is, Mick. See it?
JD. Oh.
Where are you
Wrist
guys
man.
on the? Are you guys on the? Is that what street is that? Is that LaSalle?
Probably LaSalle.
What street were
Yeah,
they staying?
JD
I
here.
believe it is.
We were on LaSalle
was
Street, right
LaSalle?
in front of the Chicago Board of Trade
Yeah.
building. Yeah.
I love Chicago. I do. I love it so much. One of my favorite cities.
It's a little bit gloomy today, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's gloomy here too. We had a really big rainstorm, but whatever. I'm just glad the
Well, check your
lawnmowers
basement.
aren't running. So,
That is the nice thing.
and yeah, MP
the
doesn't go.
basement,
Who's
make sure it's
rocking
dry."
out over there? The basement, try. Well,
Don't
luckily
piece
I'm
it.
8 stories up, so the basement happens.
All right, Dolby time. Did you get back in? I know you got the market did pull back on the Dow.
No,
I think the
I went
Rangers
to
start to
break.
show.
I went to break even on that one, and I went and grabbed me. It might head higher, so maybe going to break even wasn't the right decision. So we're still experimenting a little bit with holding trades in these super long time frame kind of trades we have here. So that might have been just par for the course for a stop run. Maybe I should have kept full risk on for the trade, but not getting over that 38,550 in a hasty manner kind of changed my ideas of this trade. But we'll
So
see
question
if
for
we can
you.
get back in. Mm-hmm.
When you're saying there, you asked 3 questions of yourself. How do you resolve those with answers? Are they rhetorical questions, or do you wait to answer them after the fact, or what makes you say, okay, I have these 3 questions here I just asked myself, or I just asked us? How do you resolve that for the next time? Are you going to look for other data points that transpire in the future, or do you look to the past to reevaluate? So, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a space where you go, all right, I had this trade, I let it stop out at break even, and then I ask the follow-up questions. How do you answer those follow-up questions to resolve that the next time the trade comes, you are making a decision that you're comfortable with?
Journal. I go to I journal. So I'll end up writing this stuff down after the segment, and then be like, oh, took a trade. So I'll go back through. We have all the trade. I have all my trade data through TopstepX. I can go back and look at the trades and kind of like I have an idea of where they were at, and then I'll just write down the question and offer an answer to it. So for a 4-hour trade, or do I have to accept more risk instead of moving my stop up? And the answer is probably yes, because we're trading the formation. So let the formation play out. And then the risk reward will take care of itself in the long run, because for a trade like this, the risk reward is going to be, really, really high relative to the risk. And so you kind of got to get yourself in a mindset that it's okay to accept all that risk on such a heavy bet, I guess, or a heavy concept or a heavy trade. So journaling's been really good. I have not done a lot of journaling.
Yeah, for me too.
I just kind of started recently, and it is really, really nice. It's kind of like just taking off a heavy blanket and just setting it down is kind of what it feels like.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. That is a great analogy. It is a great analogy.
Oh.
And you know what? I don't journal every single day. I will journal when I make obvious stupid mistakes and go, what the heck did you do that for? And then I'll think back to, okay, was I distracted? Was I not focused on XYZ? And that is so helpful to bring me to center. It is so, so helpful. For those of you that are still resisting, it's important. It's very, very, very important, because a lot of the trades you make that don't turn out well and are in fact poorly positioned, if you step back, you can go, oh. And a lot of times we go, well, where do I step back? I was trying to make this trade on the 5-minute, or when in doubt, zoom out.
Yep. I love
that. When in doubt, zoom out. That is just a critical thing to do. And literally, I have to remind myself of it all the time, because sometimes I'll get hyper-focused trying to catch a bottom or trying to catch a top.
Yeah. And I didn't journal yesterday, and I'm kind of feeling the effects of it. I just don't feel as sharp or as clear-headed. I still feel like I have I still kind of feel like I have like emotional baggage left over from yesterday's trading session. Even though it was a good session, there's still like lingering thoughts in there that didn't get out. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to make that part of my routine for sure. If I want to pass, I don't think I have a choice. I'm gonna have to do it.
That's right, Dolby. You're right.
Oh, let's see. CL breaking up through 85.35. And YM is still stuck below 38,560 here. We are coming into Euro session close for crude oil, so we could see a reversal of the previous trend. So in this case, I would think shorts would want to be covering for crude. So we might see that return to VWAP or 85.80 or something. If you are watching crude, something to keep an eye on. 5-minute resistance is still holding up in YM.
Yes, it is.
So there's still some opportunity there.
YM is stuck in mud. Stuck in mud right now.
Super stuck.
We'll see if we get out of this range here in the YM. Let's go to the top 10 list with JD. This is everyone's favorite leaderboard list. JD, if you're there, do we have any movement at the top?
Hey, I'm here. Sorry about that. Not much movement, but first let's take a look at some XFA PNLs from yesterday. Give me 1 second. There they are.
There we go.
All right, starting at the bottom. Nothing but huge numbers coming out of the XFAs again. Riomo took a nice chunk out of the NASDAQ. Jared spread his trading around a handful of markets, crude oil, NASDAQ, silver, and the S&P. He actually had a $6,400 profit trading silver yesterday. Alex.
Wow.
Alex is back in the mix. He was on this list quite a bit a few months back. Alex he was copying trades across a pair of XFAs for a total of $34,562 in profit yesterday. Then Wayne picked up 21 grand, and our leader for a day, Jan, with a whopping $28,527 in a single XFA account trading the NASDAQ.
Wow. How many trades were those?
How many? I could find out in just a second.
Some amazing trading there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. So, maybe I can't. Maybe it's not quite as easy as I thought it would be to find out the number of trades. I can get it though. It's just not. It's just not on this dashboard. So, I will find out. But let's move on to that top 10 list real quick. All right. Starting at the bottom. All right. Isaac took a small drawdown yesterday, but still hanging in there. He moved from 8th down to 10th yesterday. But the last update we got this morning, he was up about $2,700 before the open this morning. So we'll check back in on him in a little bit too. Adam, who was on his second day on the top 10 list, took a $6,000 drawdown, moving him from 5th down to 9th place. Jesus is on the move again. Jesus was in 14th place yesterday, and he was on our live funded P&L leader list. After that $9,600 winner yesterday, he moved into 8th place. Fruz lost about $1,000 and dropped from 6th to 7th, and you is back on the list. Moved from 14th place up to 6th after spreading about 14 grand across 2 XFAs.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Man,
Wow.
All right.
Jeez.
I'd love to be a
Here we
fly on
go.
the wall in some of these.
Yeah, right.
Nicely done, Eddie.
AD.
All right.
Whew, Dakota.
Balkaran is back. Balkaran had that nice shoulder tap from Mick the other day. He was in 19th place yesterday,
Yeah,
moved
it
into
was amazing.
5th after spreading some dough across 1 live account and 3 XFAs yesterday. Then the rest of the list is the same as yesterday. Pin, Chingjing, Raj, and Dakota. Pin was up about 3 grand yesterday. Chingjing and Raj both took drawdowns, and Dakota picked up another 13 grand trading across 1 live account and a couple of XFAs. Big day for Dakota. He's having quite the month. No doubt about
Yes, he
that.
is.
He sure is.
Man, he's
We need to get a pool going to see how much, how long we think it'll take him to double that payout. We'll have some. We don't need to share it with him in terms of where it goes. I think it'd be really cool. He is really. I mean, what's his average?
question.
What's his average daily payout?
Lost?
Or what's his average daily P&L?
Dakota?
I believe we can find that.
Yeah.
We could find that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is he's creating
You
some
already got it,
separation on that leaderboard too.
Yeah, he
between the
really
first and
is.
second
No
place.
kidding.
He's just killing it.
Yep.
I know. He's putting on a clinic right now.
I might try some Nazi shorts here. 30-minute range high. For some
Shorts in the
quick
Nas, I
action
see
here.
that.
Yeah.
Dow's catching a bid here.
Yeah. Wish I held on to that Dow trade. I think I overmanaged that one.
Yeah.
But that's one for the journals.
Dolby, did it
That is-
hit your stop?
Yeah,
just get
I
out
kind of
of
had my.
Moved it to
I
break
no,
even.
I moved it up to break even, so I probably should have accepted a little bit more risk. Like I said, I don't really play like 4-hour ranges all that often, so I don't have a lot of experience with holding on to the trade for that long. And I think there's a lot of temptation to overmanage a trade that you could be sitting in for over
course.
half an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, with like no
sure.
price movement, not doing anything, but then you have to like kind of recalibrate your mind. It's like, well, you're trading a 4-hour chart pattern. Like you're trading
Yeah.
in the same headspace as the big boys. They can wait half an hour for a trade to move. They don't care. So you kind of have to like
Yeah.
put yourself in their shoes instead of think about yourself and like your own insecurities with your trade, because you're trading on a 4-hour chart. You're trading with some of the big money movers there. So I got to
Listen,
slow down
some
a
of the-
little bit.
Some of the best trades I've ever had were trades I forgot I put on.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Right.
How does that happen, Anne Marie? How did that happen?
Not kidding you. You just say, all right, I'm in trend. If it comes back here, it gets me. And then, you forget about it. And a couple of days go by and you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had that happen to me a couple of times. That where you
we
just
all have the tendency to
over
linear
managing
trade.
is just, what's that, John?
We all have a tendency to linear trades.
Lenny.
That's
Overman.
exactly
Life, man.
right.
Yep.
I always want to cry when I think about Lenny.
Yeah.
Right.
Sympathetic figure.
Fast Markets Book Club.
Yes.
Lenny make you feel.
I love it. What do we got here? Oh, 76% long in the YM on the tilt here. Fast Markets Book Club is right. Gold, trying to catch a bid here. About midway through the range, in the middle of the range that we've seen for the day. Trading 23.58. Oh, what a day it's been.
Yeah, we just.
Dow is just stuck in the mud, Dolby. I don't know what to tell you about Dow.
Stuck. It is.
What's the problem?
So
Wake
stuck
up,
in the
Dow.
mud. I don't know. But we just missed NQ fill by like a couple ticks, I think.
Yeah.
This is hard. This is really, really hard. Even for a range trader, this is like kind of messy.
It's very messy. I think it's very, very messy. You know, obviously the traders are waiting for something, but I don't know what. We don't really have a big release tomorrow. We have earnings that begin. When do the banks start releasing earnings? Is that next week or what day is that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Tomorrow morning.
Friday, yes.
So maybe
Friday
they're waiting
morning.
for
And
banks.
who reports the banks?
VP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citigroup.
Maybe that's what they're waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does. It
Yeah,
feels like they're everybody tentative.
Very tentative.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, hanging their hopes on a good earnings season right now.
Which, it could turn the markets completely around. If we get another group of earnings and we got forward guidance that's good, I mean, we could bounce off of these levels. My thought is inside of last week Thursday's candlestick, if we look across the board at last week Thursday, the Dow is really the only one that's well below that level. Everybody else is inside of that range. The ES is sitting around saying, hey, I'm trying to stay up over here. And I think people are waiting for those earnings. We want to see, I think how we close Friday, the end of the week is going to be pretty significant in terms of forward motion. What I suspect is that it just chops around, and if it bounces, it gives back. But if it loses its footing there, I think the bulls could have a little bit of a tough time as we get down into some leakier levels, as it were. Speaking of science things, the guy who found who the Higgs boson particle was named after, he died just a couple of days ago.
OJ?
His name was...
I didn't know he did that too. That's pretty
Higgs.
cool.
No.
Oh, God.
Higgs.
Oh my
His
God!
name's Higgs.
Who the hell cares?
It's so good.
Eddie?
I'm slicking mouth. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Oh my gosh. I know. The guys at CERN care.
I care,
The
Emery.
guys at CERN care. Thank you.
What's up, Jack?
Thank you. I love Eddie. He's so funny.
So good. Let's see here.
I am honestly trying real hard to find trades on anything.
There's nothing.
I'm starting to fish around for some levels here myself. I only got the itch to do a house account trade.
Maybe silver.
I don't tapped into
One thing about
I
doing
was just
that,
looking at silver myself.
you go looking for trades, you're going to find them.
Oh, yeah,
I know.
you will.
Yeah.
I'm looking for levels. I should take that back. I'm looking for levels, and I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I should take that back. I'm looking for levels. I'm looking for levels, and I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on the leaderboard. And I kind of reached out to our number one trader here on Yeah, ask Dakota for trades. Says Sony Aho.
There you go.
Guess what I did?
There you go.
Guess what I did? Coach Dakota, I see you. I am long NQ now. Oh, long on this pullback. Well, maybe I should get long with them. So give me a minute here. Jack, if you don't mind driving for a minute. Sorry to put you on the spot there, but I'm going to switch over to the house account.
Ooh.
And I might get along with might get along with Dakota here on the house account. So Jack, if you don't mind, put you on the spot there, but you could drive for a second. I'm gonna log out and switch back into the house account here. Let's see how this goes.
Do you want me to just do this as a voice?
That works. Yeah, that works for sure. I mean, we got a great panel here, so
yeah, they're good at talking.
They're good at talking.
So wait a second. For Dakota, where is his entry? Where is the risk?
Dakota, where are you at, Dakota? Where are you at?
YM is now below Feb 13th low. Testing. Oh man, am I going to try to get long YM again?
392 is the next line I see for
YM?
For the Dow. Yep.
Well, that's way down there.
Yep.
That is way down there.
There might be a line at 460, but it's heavy congestion, so it's not a clear it's not a clear level.
Yeah.
Did Dakota tell us where his entry point was?
Go long.
He's trying along right now at 18.245.
Right now, 245.
All right. Well, the first one of the day. I got a 15 lot queued up here. See if we can get down to 245. 245. This is on the house account, I believe. Yes, it is. House account queued up here, ready to go. We believe in our trade. Seen a pullback right here. Can you share this? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. 1 second, James Harden. I got you right here, buddy. Share screen. Here we go with this first house account trade. Let's do this. We like the levels. See the pullback here. Boom. There you go, James. 245. 245. Got a 15 lot queued up here. We get a pullback. Oh, it's run away. All right, in.
Whoa, house account trade. Let's go.
Yep. Long from 49. Long from 49.
How many contracts?
15. 15.
Nice.
Long from 49.
Putting up higher lows and higher highs.
In which market?
NASDAQ. Sorry about that. Long from 249 in the NASDAQ.
You're just going 1-to-1, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see if
So it's just going to be a 10 grand hit?
That's the plan.
It's just going to be
That's the plan.
It's either 10 win or 10 lose, right? Still in between.
Let's do it.
Yep, here we go. Long from 49.
Nice entry. Ooh, look at that.
Shout out to Dakota. This is Dakota's levels.
So I followed you right. I followed you right in.
Yes, nice. And Marie's in. Dakota's in. I'm in.
Yep.
The house is in, I should say. Let's run this sucker.
We're all on the side of America.
We are all pro America. This is pro America. Everyone's long. Everyone's long. Everyone's long in the chat right now. Kyle Spack with the dropping the F bombs. F yeah, Andre. Don't F me. This is a Dakota. This is a Dakota's level. Anne Marie agrees. We got the chat going. Targets for $10,000. That's the target on this one.
Where is that level?
I don't know what that. I can't do the math on that.
I just did a market order. The market was running away, so I had to get on board. I got to figure that. I'll figure that out later.
All right.
Someone can help me with the math. I'd appreciate that.
Where'd you get it again?
249.
You see it on the dome, can't you?
I can. Yeah. It's not a bracket order. It's just straight up market order for the time being. The market was running, so I had to just get in. But unrealized right now, up 35, up 4. Unrealized.
Yeah, what's your target? What's your target for the
283? 283. Thank you, Jay Cook. 283.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to try. I actually want to take shorts up there, so I'll swap with you.
Deal. You got a deal. Nice level there, Dakota. Let's see if we can break out here.
Pretty. Oh, I love it when we're all playing together in the same.
We're on the same team.
It's going to have to take out the high of the day and the IB to get there.
Okay, at what, 283?
Yeah, it's super wiki up there, too.
The high of the IB is 18,274.
274. Dakota agrees. I'll probably trim 274 if we can get there.
I'm trying to buy a bunch of YM if we can break below the 15-minute range low. And I also want to short NASDAQ if we can get up there too. So it's kind of a weird little setup I got going on. But
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Back to entry. Boy, this NASDAQ's wild. I don't know how you guys trade this stuff.
Dude, tell me about it.
Dude, this shit's wild, man.
I feel good with like one.
Jan Marie's, I love it. I love it.
The pyro. Imagine.
I love it.
The pyro loves it.
Yeah, right?
Some people just want to watch the house account burn, Andre.
Yes, they do.
Not
they
me.
do.
Not me. I just took profit up at the top, so I'm back in.
Oh, Anne Marie's out.
No, I'm back in again.
Yeah,
I took it at the top, and I'm back in at the bottom again.
Oh, chat's starting to get nervous here for you, Dre.
Chat's getting nervous?
They want you to bail out of this one or put in a
bail
stop
out
or something.
That's no
Go
fun.
To break even.
Momentum has got you. You've got
Uncle Mo, man. Uncle Mo.
Side.
Momentum's a lie.
Momentum's a lie.
Momentum's a lie. No, momentum is fickle, is what momentum is. Momentum's a fickle girlfriend.
Yeah. Feels great when you got it.
Yeah.
And then you try to figure it out, and it's like, nope, not today. We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to look at the ladder.
See what the dome looks like right here.
Yeah.
Anybody got a dome ladder there for the NQ?
Yeah, it's pretty thin. It's like one up, two up. Yep. I'm afraid. I hope is MP watching. MP, I know you might be on an airplane right now. Hopefully, you're watching this.
As far as I can tell, he just threw out that do the OJ poll and then disappeared.
And then bounced. That was his
through the hand grenade. Pulled the pin through the hand grenade.
Then slowly drove away in his Rivian.
Yeah. Looking in his rear view mirror.
Oh man.
Yeah, what's the worst thing you've ever done? Followed up by OJ. Thank you for your contributions, MP. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, Andre, you have some fans in the comments. James, if we have that queued up.
Great.
Macro Bullet.
Marco
says, let's friggin' go.
Let's go, Marco. That gets me every time, man. He gets me every time.
All right, I'm taking some off again at that 260.
Running into some resistance up here, huh? Dakota, what do you think? What's our target here?
Let it cook?
Yeah, we're going to let it cook.
I'm going to try YM shorts the top of the range, too, because that's been sticky as well.
Yeah.
Have you moved to stop at all, Andre?
No, I don't know if I have no. I'm not going to. Right? I'm supposed to manage this sucker.
We have the right to do that.
Do you have a right to add 15 more?
You have to talk to Mick.
Yeah, Mick. Mick, if you're out there, man, I might be getting a shoulder tap. 290. 290.
Andre here traded one day in his live trading account with a 15-lot contract and went 0 for 1 and lost $10,000. So that's a shoulder tap. Not recommended, chat.
Dakota, I'm looking for new high of the day. New high of the day, Dakota says. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
That's gonna be more. That's gonna be more than $10,000.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're eating lobster, man. We're eating lobster if we hit new highs of the day. 18,300s.
Here we go. There's a pop.
There's a pop is right.
Yep.
Peel off.
It barely did anything.
Peel off 5 or something.
Yeah, sell you 5.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to peel some of it for sure. Because it's super wicky all the way up.
Yeah, it is. All right, just peeled off 5. Got 10,
nice.
Long 10 now.
Excellent.
This is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah, this is
nice.
house account. Danielle, we did it, Danielle. We did it. We got what's tilt looking like on NASDAQ here? 50-50. What's Delta looking like, John, while we're in this trade?
Well, NASDAQ Delta is 500 positive.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Nothing to lean on there.
That is nothing.
Yeah, that's so timid.
Yeah, it is.
Just wait and come and get me.
Mm-hmm.
Come and get me.
Dolby, what are you
Find
working?
me.
You're working a short in the Dow, right?
Come and find me. Yeah, 2 IMs,
Find me. Remember that?
575 and 566. It's just been rejecting the top of the 15-minute range a bunch, so
Why not?
let's try to do it. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
Oops. Nope. Pull that. I'm trying to work 572 from some of the levels we're getting here in the chat. Come on. Yeah.
We got close. I think we're going to get
Paper hands? Dakota. Paper hands or diamond hands, man? We got to manage this trade.
It looks
Man,
good.
we're doing
It looks
up or down
good
10,000,
until you
Dakota.
get about to 75.
Okay.
The traders
day.
are punching higher, or
Yeah.
as soon as they get up there, they are giving up the ghost.
Okay, Dolby's in there. Dolby's getting short. Dolby's fading the house
Momentum
account.
is in your favor.
I'm sorry. I'm fading the house account.
It's fine.
Momentum's definitely in your favor. Have you moved the stop up at all, or no?
No.
Yeah, I like Jem's idea.
Okay.
Move that to break even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move it to at least half.
Yeah, I think that's a good
We
way.
took like, no, let's break even. We got to christen this house account
The
with
7.
Blair. And Dakota's wrong
Yeah.
70% of the time. So with the
Dude,
1-1
not
trade-
right now,
I
Jack.
like
Not right
evil,
now.
man.
See right here at that
You're evil.
270, that's a great place. People have started showing up. So it's a good place to peel off another 5.
All right. All right. Just peel off another 5. Long 5.
And
Let's
then,
see, I'm
you know,
short
maybe you do
2YM.
Now we're running. I'm going to let this run. Let's let this run.
Now, you know, if this didn't go our way, we were going to lose all of 10 grand on that.
Yes, we were.
Most certainly.
Why are we- why
no,
are we
that's
trying to
not
make
even
10 grand on
possible. So we're good. So how much is it up?
Realized 3,600. Unrealized another 22.
Okay. Yeah, if it breaks over here, it's going to run a ton of stops and you're going to get a really pretty number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't, the wicks have been, you know, nothing to sneeze at.
I'm trying, Dolby.
I love this.
What are you trying? I'm just on the
I
wrong.
mean,
I
you're
feel like
risking,
I'm on the
you're
wrong
risking 10
side.
grand on it. If this thing went straight to a stop out, we'd lose 10 grand.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
if we let it get to the stop, though, John. I mean, that's yeah. That's,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let
that's
it.
the rule,
Let's.
isn't it?
I don't know. We're kind of freestyling.
It's
this
yet to
right
be
now.
seen. Those are like
Yeah.
the stated things, but would we have actually lost 10 grand? It remains
Hell
unseen
no.
whether we actually
Yeah,
did.
right.
We don't want to do that.
Got long 5. Let it run.
Money's money.
Yep.
So you're still 5. You still have 5,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Looking for 18,300. Dakota style.
There
Wow.
it is.
Oh,
we go.
there it is.
I'm out. Flat. All right, 7,000
$2.90.
All
bucks.
right.
$7,000. I'm out.
Wow,
Holy
nice
shit,
job.
It worked. Dakota. Yo. Yeah, that actually worked.
Love it.
Yeah. No, no,
Where's that?
no, no, no.
MP, you see that shit? Come on,
Fantastic.
MP.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I love that.
I mean,
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that we were all in there together working
Yes.
through it. That's fantastic. Except for Dole. But
Except for me,
he was
I'm
just
actually
there to-
fading this. I'm.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
This is not
See,
good.
momentum is
Yeah,
a
man.
beautiful thing.
Up
Momentum is a
69.85.
beautiful thing.
Yo.
All right. Hey, did you like? Yeah, let's get some likes here in
Hit those-
our.
Thank you.
Hit those
was
likes. I
freaking
liked. I loved it.
Fantastic.
Hit those likes and
Oh my
subscribe.
gosh, it was so fun.
Oh, shit, it popped, man. Oh,
Gosh, that
Bye.
was fun.
That was
That was
fun. That
fun.
was good management. And we aren't done, are we?
Nice job.
Wow. We are running. Yeah. Wow.
That's great.
Nice job, Dakota. That's how we do. We believe in our traders. Anne-Marie got in. Dakota got in. People in the chat got in. That's a house account trade. That's not an Andre trade. That's house account. I would never have
Danielle
traded
says another one. Just kidding.
that. Yeah. We're going to go back. Honestly, I'm going to go back and review the tape on this one before we do that again, see how it played out. I kind of blacked out during that trade. No, I'm just kidding. But shout out to Dakota, man. Number one on the leaderboard. Number one on the leaderboard. We believe in our traders here. Give us good levels. He called the breakout. Sure enough, there we go, man. Hope everyone else was able to get on board that.
Super pretty.
And look, you got out
Super
right at the
pretty.
high.
Man, I like
Yeah,
it.
man. Wow.
wait.
I never make a trade like that.
Dobie.
Shit.
Dobie, did you get the other one at the very top? for the
Yeah,
short? Because
I only got one of them. I'm short one 18,278, and then I'm short 2 YM at 38,571.
Toby, I like the trade.
Okay.
We got a potential failed upside
that
auction.
double top is
Yeah.
really pretty.
We'll see if it sticks.
Wonder
We need
where
to
that
make some
profit
lower lows
comes
on the
in.
1 minute, and we need the one and the yeah.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
I'm in my own world completely right now. I have no idea what's going on with their house account trade. That's fantastic. Good job.
Yeah.
That really was so much fun. We got to do that. We got to do that again.
We're going to keep trying to do that. We're going to keep
tons
trying to do
of
that.
fun.
The trades have to present themselves. We're going to keep trying to do that. No guarantee we're going to do it every day. You know, people are seeing it, right? We'll definitely have conviction in our traders. Okay. Well, that's the house account trade for the day.
Yeah, that was pretty.
We got all right. We got 13 minutes left here in fast markets. Markets are moving.
That was great.
Nice fade. What's your target, Dobie?
The mid of range, 18,229. I know. I know, Anne-Marie. I told myself to run this stupid ass take profit system for the rest of April.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it because that's what I told Chad I was gonna do. But I have other ideas for other take profit systems, but I have a feeling it's gonna be agonizing. Agonizing.
You might get it. We'll see we'll see if momentum runs out.
Yeah. We will see.
Yeah, momentum
Gus,
is
can you not
beautiful right now, but these
trades?
big long wicks on the 15-minute chart, it's really telling us the traders are using the prices higher to get out. Would you agree with that, John? When you see those kinds of wicks like that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely using those higher prices to get out.
Mm-hmm. And now we've got basically a failed auction
Yes, we do.
above the initial balance in the NASDAQ. So, if that holds, this it could roll over and go back to low value. Low of value being let's call it 18,222.
So we have to wait until this TPO closes, though, right?
Yes, right, and that'll increase the probability that failed auction will remain the high.
Okay.
Everything is all about probabilities, right?
Of course.
Yep.
Ooh, look at that Dow.
I can't see it because my cat is pressing buttons on my keyboard. Yeah, Dow's interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
Are you short?
I'm short in both NASDAQ and Dow right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great, but we'll see. We will see. Oh my God, Cat! What are you doing?
So beaten down.
Wow, what a wick! What a wick, Anne-Marie, you called
sure.
it. Yeah, Dow was stuck in mud.
So pretty. That was such a pretty
Silent
trade.
says, hit that lock button,
God.
Andre.
I already signed out. I signed out. Yeah.
Sign out, lock it out.
I signed
Walk
out. Yep,
away.
definitely hit the lock button. I'm gonna hit that lock button for
Innkeeper drinks for everybody.
Yeah, we're done. Has MP explained what happens with the money we make from something like that? Do we get paid out the winnings instantly?
Yeah, how's that work?
Should be something in there. We got 80%. Yeah, that was nice. Good question. We'll discuss that in the meeting, I'm sure. 80% long in the YM here. We got about 10 minutes left in fast markets. That was exciting, guys. We'll try to be doing that more frequently, but the trades have to present themselves. We're not going to force it. Boy, that was a hell of a wick. That was a hell of a we got lucky.
I know, and it's recovering.
Yeah, it is.
Right, because momentum is still creeping straight up. I mean, it is creeping.
We got earnings.
Up.
It is.
We got earnings coming for sure. Anne-Marie, you still see some room to the upside here in the NASDAQ? 18,300 was a level that Dakota brought in, and we are starting to see a push towards it. S&P's catching a bid too. Here's the Dow. Dow finally wakes up and says, hey, let's go. I'm late to the party. Let's see if we can keep up with S&P's and NASDAQ. 80% long.
Really wish I never closed that 4-hour trade I had set up. I was looking pretty good right about now.
So shorts in the NASDAQ are a preempt of a potential failed auction or auction fade, whichever you want to call it.
Okay. Explain that, John.
Well, when we're looking at an extension above the initial balance, okay, like this. This is the NASDAQ. This is the TPO chart. The initial balance high was 18,274, right? D did look above it, and then E looked above it and came back inside the initial balance. So if the market, if price closes below 18,274 on this 30-minute bar, so we've got about 10 minutes or so to kind of wait to see if it's going to kind of open the next 30-minute bar below this level, again 18,274. And if it does, then it's left a selling tail up here, a failed auction. Price got too expensive. So buyers wouldn't buy it anymore. Sellers came in and took over and swiftly moved price back into range and to initial balance and into value. So that kind of increases the probability if we open the next 30-minute bar inside the initial balance. Again, that initial balance high, 18,274, it increases the probability of the failed upside auction to remain the high of the day.
Yep.
Does it guarantee anything? Absolutely not. But it's one of my favorite plays.
Like it.
Nice.
I see what you see. Yeah, I see it.
There you go.
Let's see.
I just recap. Adobe short 2 IM. Marie
Three.
out.
It's 3 now. I'm actually sizing up into my shorts
Short 3.
because
Yeah, after that, I don't blame you. I see what John
They're
says.
just cheap. So I'm
And
gonna
again,
try
that's
to doing 605
preempting.
Yep.
and see if
We're
we
not
can get
seeing
our
the same
average
thing in the
hits.
Dow, by the way. The Dow is a whole different story.
It sure is, man.
Yep.
That was a problem. Wake up, Dow.
Still
lagging
need this can I think can reverse still pretty viciously, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
we'll see.
I believe just a heads up in 10 minutes here, we got a speaker, Fed speaker Collins. So keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, we got Collins, and then we have a 30-year auction at noon, and then we got Bostic at 12:30 on the other side of the day there. So we will have some more news events coming. And of course, you never know what's going to come out of the Middle East. So you got to keep it, stay agile, keep your head on a swivel, like John says, on days like today. Tensions are rising over there if they aren't high enough already. Yes, we have Collins speaking here in about 9 minutes.
Momentum still running the show. I see a number in the NAS at 305 to 310. Isn't that where Dakota's
Yes.
targets are?
Yep. Well, 300, yes. And above that, yeah. Oh, if you're still long, man, good on you. Taking a look. Yeah, 76% long in the YM. Dolby says, I don't think so.
Dolby doesn't know what's going on right now.
Dolby time. Come on, Dolby. No, Dolby time.
I know. It's
That's
one of
my
those
partner, man. That's my
it's one
partner.
of those situations where it's like the way I feel is I think impacting the way I feel about the markets. And it's like I just don't feel in the pocket at all. All my trades feel weird and awkward. Okay, short 4 in YM. Yeah.
In there.
But it's also like I just want structure to play out. My emotions don't matter. I just let the structure play. So kind of caught between a rock and a hard place is what it feels like. Okay, we're short 5 YM, 15-minute range high.
81% long, Dolby.
5. That's
So no, I think fading the tilt.
Yeah,
fade
maybe.
The tilt's not. I think it's when YM has been working.
If we can get back to entry, I'll probably lower my stop.
Where do we see the tilt in the YM? Is it on the ticker up there, or
see it there? It's not.
I know it's not on TopstepX yet.
Is it not? Okay, I'm looking at it in a different spot.
Okay.
Yes, it should be across the ticker. Yes, it is indeed across.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, John.
I want my 4-hour trade back.
What the long.
My long.
I've
had
done
a
that too.
ridiculous entry at 38,480 or whatever. Let me go back in time and not flatten that, please.
Oh, I wish for a time machine like that all the time.
I know.
I'm sure could you imagine how crazy the world would get if we had access to things like that?
Oh boy,
I mean, it would take us about 15 minutes to blow up in a big ball of fire, literally, from all the things we would be doing. Oh.
We would probably just be really bored, because if you can max out your dopamine with zero risk, then everything would be boring.
Huh.
I don't know. There's some megalomaniacs out there that are gonna. Us regular folk might be, but the megalomaniacs that go, how much do I want? Well, more is how much I want, and that could really make the world go sideways.
It doesn't take much.
If everybody's super, nobody is.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
good call.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wow.
Just
got some super exciting news, guys. We just hit 80,000 subscribers here on the TopstepTV YouTube channel. 80,000
Nice. That is awesome.
Wow. Dude, shout out to all the bell-to-bellers. It's insane. 80,000 subscribers.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, we'll have a little something in store for you guys next week, so be sure to tune in. It's a token of our appreciation. But 80,000 subscribers, what an exciting day! Thank you very much. We'll have something in store for you guys next week. You guys know how we are. We take care of you guys, so thank you very much for that. 2 minutes left here in Fast Markets. We got a cool day ahead of us here. If you don't mind me going over the schedule, moving forward here. So after Fast Markets, it was Power Players, new guest joining Robert and Eddie with Heather C. Please tune in. Fun to share with us, and a very interesting story with Heather C. Please tune in for that. And after this, I think you guys will really enjoy what you have to hear. Jack and Vanessa with Top Quiz, Mick and Eddie with the shoulder tap. Ooh, and Roast. No, Roast My Trading is Friday.
Okay.
Ooh, Roast My Trading. Get ready for that one. The Coach's Takeover. Coach's Takeover. JD, Coach Dakota. Wow, I'm sure Coach Dakota will have some thoughts on this morning.
Yeah.
Coach Jay and Coach Paul. And then for Power Hour, we got Andre Dolby and Deanna. And, of course, Slow Markets with the star himself, Coach Dakota. So please tune in for that. We got a jam-packed day. Don't forget, we got Collins coming out here at 4. Yeah, Collins speaking in 4 minutes. Then we got the 30-year auction at noon. And then we got Bostic at 12:30. So keep it light, keep it tight, keep your head on a swivel with those headlines out of the Middle East. You never know what's going to happen. John, great opening trade. Anne-Marie carved up those markets. Dolby time. I got you for Power Hour, man. We're partners in this shit. We got this, man.
I'm down 886, and I'm locked out of both of my accounts today. I should have known from this.
Anne-Marie with the
this morning. I should have been in practice account all day.
Go do some of those Go do some of those push-ups that you can do so magnificently well. Get it? Yeah. Shake out that cortisol.
That 4-hour trade, and never should have closed it. Never should have closed it.
Well, that was very enjoyable, everybody. We really appreciate it. Anne-Marie, as always, thank you for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed Fast Markets. We got Power Players coming next with a new guest, Heather C. Be sure to tune in for that. We'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you.